Thank you. I'm an addict named Ron. And I'm here by God's grace and God's mercy. I myself am overwhelmed. I got a wave of feeling the love of the Fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous. It is a love that is awesome. He says something about my message. Nah, it's not my message. It is a message that I'm charged with. I'm charged with it, and I'm charged with it in a responsible fashion. But it is the message of God. I only carry the message of God as I understand Him. I've been living in a period of accountability. I'm here tonight at the 10th New Jersey Regional Convention of Narcotics Anonymous to give an annual report. It is about reporting to the fellowship on how I'm living. Everything that I've learned in my short tenure here has been about reporting to you. I've been told, and it's not such a bad thing to be told things. Once I'm in touch with who I'm serving, just exactly who am I serving? I don't mind being told things by God. I'm told those things by God through prayer and meditation. Prayer and meditation is not just something nice to talk about. It is a wonderful experience. It is the way that keeps me my right size. Keeps me in touch with who I really am. In the second step in Narcotics Anonymous, in the basic text, it says, we saw other people recovering, and they told us what was working for them. Now, the only requirement for membership is a desire to stop using. Just a desire. However, I have found out that there is a membership responsibility. It tells me in our basic text that we have both a fear of failure as well as a fear of success. Huh? Darned if I do, darned if I don't. I'm between a rock and a hard spot. So I'm compelled these days to talk about how I'm living. Now, they've given me a workshop here that if I was a sensationalist, where my wife at? If I was into histrionics, I learned these words in prison, all right? I would probably live forever in using to live and living to use. I'm going to talk some about that because I do have experience with that. I got newcomer friends. With my friend went nine days clean. I asked her to come to this meeting. So I owe her something. Huh? I owe her something. It tells me this is exactly what I'm supposed to do. It says, if new members are to feel that they belong in Narcotics Anonymous, they need to hear something that they can identify with. So I have a responsibility. Huh? To have a responsibility to read from the earlier report. Give you a few pages from the earlier report. Huh? So you don't think you're a freak. You don't feel like, do I really belong here? You know, am I really a member? Well, first of all, the only requirement for membership is a desire to stop using. A desire, and that desire is a desire of your understanding. Your understanding. You can come here, check it out, check it out, check it out. You can come here using. Huh? It says here, desire is not a measurable commodity. It lives in the heart of each individual member. And it says you are a member when you say you are. Huh? Don't nobody run you out of here. You know what I'm saying? We don't run people out of here. All right? We're talking about if we live to use and use to live, how do we break the cycle? Where is the solution? We don't run people out of here by judging them, by taking their inventory. We don't do that. Sponsors, back up. Back up. It says in the 12th step, carry this message to your sponsees. It says it is not our job to tell someone seeking recovery where to work, who to live with, who to live with. You hear what I'm saying? How to raise their children, or anything else outside the realm of our experience. We don't do that. The group is not the jury of desire. We don't take a person's inventory. I came to Narcotics Anonymous. Here's the hit for the newcomer. 3.5 years in the cooker. Using in NA meetings. Using. And check it out. I didn't even have an idea that I would stop using. I'm not even sure if I wanted to stop using. What I wanted was to use without the consequences. You know, how can I use without having what I had before? I don't want that anymore. But I don't want to stop using. Any addict who walks into a meeting, even a using addict, this meeting pretty big. I spoke in a meeting in New York yesterday, had about 800 people in it. Some big meeting. Was it a big meeting? I know somebody in there's urine was dirty. Even a using addict displays a level of willingness that cannot be discounted, while maintaining an emphasis on the importance of total abstinence. Still using addicts are welcome. Do you hear that? Do you hear it? Welcome. If you don't hear it, probably you just might be suffering from self-centeredness. This is group conscious literature. It's a literature in A. For our group purpose, there's but one ultimate authority, right? A loving God, as he may express himself in our group conscience. So God has given this to us. You understand what I'm saying? Still using addicts are welcomed into our meetings with special encouragement to keep coming back. Now we take people, right? We take them, NA does. We take people. Why we say we take them? Because we hug them when they come. We nurture them. We say the sweet, wonderful thing like, keep coming back. You know, call me baby. Call before you fall. Call me. All this kind of stuff. Take them out to get tuna fish sandwiches. We nurtured my wife. She was a newcomer some years ago. Didn't own a winter coat in the wintertime. Didn't have no money. Walked on a broke down prosthesis. Was hungry. I don't have to reach real far from experience on this one. The woman was hungry. We fed her. I don't mean I fed her, and she wasn't my woman at that time. I'm talking like she was just Jane Doe addict. And we fed her, and we got her a coat, and we held her, and we held her, And we held her, and she got better, and she got better, and she worked the steps, and she was able to have a relationship. And check it out, we got married. Huh? And see, there's one thing more than anything else that will defeat us in our recovery. And it sounds cute. It sounds kind. People say relationships. No, I don't think so. It's an intolerance or indifference towards spiritual principles. You understand what I'm saying? It is most necessary for me to join the ranks of the spiritually living. You know? So now, I'm saying we take people, right? People who like, check it out. They're closer to the crack pipe, closer to the cooker, all right? Closer to whatever it was you did than their own children, than your mother, than your father. Huh? I'll do you in. Give me a chance, I'll stick you. And then we expect them to abracadabra get clean. I came for 3.5 years using in NA bathrooms. I met people. I met a lot of people on the way. They looked at me and they said, oh my God. Look at him. Check it out. Not only was I using, but I looked like I was using. I smelled like I was using. You understand? And I scratched when I was on or off of dope. Yeah. I don't know about you, but baths weren't a part of my regular regimen. You know what I mean? They weren't. You know? Living to use and using to live. Sleeping under abandoned building front porches. Huh? Wearing a green army field jacket. Month after 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 month. And check it out. With the same underwear. Come on, man. Huh? Underwear that if I took them off, might do anything. We're people in the grip of a continuing and progressive illness. Check that. Wait, you see, you got to listen to the language. People in the grip of a continuing and progressive illness. And it doesn't say as an active addict. It says a continuing and progressive illness whose ends are always the same. Jails, institution, here's the hit we don't get half the time, dereliction and death. Oh, I didn't make that up. That's in the basic text. You understand how I added it to that part? That's in the basic dereliction. You understand? The dereliction can happen in recovery. Huh? The jails can happen in recovery. Huh? Because we get what our hand calls for. All right? It is not the drugs that our society is dealing with. It's not the drugs. It's the behavior. It's the behavior. When I stuck up Central Jersey Bank and Trust Company in March of 1979, and I ran down on them with a .30 caliber carbine with 2 banana clips taped together. You understand? I ran down on them and I said, give it up. The lady didn't say, excuse me, before I relinquish this money to you, are you perhaps an active addict? If I went to Central Jersey Bank and Trust Company on Tuesday morning, because tomorrow's a holiday, I checked the bank out, they're closed. All right? And I stuck them up. The woman would not ask me. She would not say, boy, wait. Just before I give you the money, please tell me, have you worked your 6-step yet? Society is concerned with our behavior. It's the behavior that society is concerned with. You know what I'm talking about? It is definitely the behavior. So we do a false step, I mean, sometimes I wonder, some people act like don't really know what the purpose of a fourth step is. Huh? It talk about what? Sorting through the wreckage of the past. But why? Why sort through the wreckage of the past? And why? What about this line in the first step? When we say, when we become beaten, we become willing. Become willing to do what? I mean, it sounds good, but do what? Why a fourth step? You know why? Because I need to look at what my relationship is to my community. A searching and fearless moral inventory. Not just an inventory. It's not just an inventory. You know, the word moral is an adjective describing what kind of an inventory we're to take. Now, I'm not talking religious inventory. I'm talking moral. It means all pertaining to acceptable and established community values. Is my behavior conforming to my community? Check it out, check it out. Or am I an outlaw? You hear what I'm saying? Huh? An outlaw. An outlaw with people in the grip of a continuing and progressive illness whose ends are always the same. Jails for outlaws. Institutions for outlaws. And death. I was facing the death penalty in 1971. The state of New Jersey, had they found me guilty, had the option of electrocuting me. God said, I don't think so. Trust me on this one. You can't take yourself out without God's permission. That's right. Can't do it. You ain't got that much juice. You understand? God is deep. And God is no joke. 3.5 years I came to NA, and I kept coming, and I'd show up in meetings. I mean, why? Why would somebody show up in an NA meeting unless they had a desire to stop using? Huh? But it might not have been the desire of your understanding. Huh? But it was the desire of my understanding. It was the size of a poppy seed. Huh? You remember the poppy seed? See, Kevin, and this here, it's not going to be a joke. I couldn't stop using. But I'd show up. I was on methadone maintenance, and I'd show up. Don't you run them methadonians out of here. Don't you do it. No, in order to get clean, in order to get recovery, you gotta be clean. But it's a process. It's a process when you've been closer to something than your mother. When you've been closer to something than your baby girl. You've been closer to something than the man you ever ate. It's a process. You understand what I'm saying? I was a Methadonian. Huh? I was a Methadonian. And today, I don't drink methadone. Today, I don't chew dope. I don't drink Michelob. Check it out, check it out. I don't drink near beer. That's a hit for the near beer freaks. Near beer, come on, surrender! Wait a minute, near beer. Hey, anybody got some cut? We don't run around the Radisson with spikes in our arms. We just boot and cut. Oh, wait a minute. Check it out. Near dope. Oh, man. Surrender. Huh? Don't quit. Surrender. It's a process. You understand what I'm saying? But I kept coming. And this guy would see me. He'd see me almost every week on a Friday night in Mattawan. On a Wednesday night in Long Branch. I'm using, y'all. And I'm going to these meetings. I'm using and I'm not trying to stop. Do you hear what I'm saying? I ain't got 30 days clean. I ain't got no clean time. When they do the tea tags, I go out for a wine break. I'm a witness. And I have other witnesses here. I'm a witness, man. I asked him to sponsor me. I didn't know. See, listen, when they say the addict with 2 days clean turns around to the addict with 1 day clean and says an addict alone is in bad company, I thought he was a spiritual giant. He had about 6 or 7 or 8 months clean. I didn't know it. But he had what I wanted. Now, it took me years to get the courage to ask that question. Would you sponsor me? And of course he couldn't. He couldn't do it, and I understand that today. But I kept coming. He didn't reject me and make me feel bad. You know, the disease will say, don't ask nobody else. I didn't ask anybody else for a while. But I kept coming to NA meetings. And that little poppy seed of desire, right? Y'all told me bring the body and the mind will follow. Just show up, man. Just keep showing. I was showing up in the worst of conditions, but I was showing up. I was showing up. I didn't follow no suggestions, but I kept showing up. I didn't do nothing but show up. And then all of a sudden, one day, I found myself clean. Clean. You only dumped the message on the poppy seed. You dumped the message. The message in the poppy seed shot a little root out the bottom. And that root clung on to NA. And out the top of the poppy seed came a little sprout. And the sprout said, 30 days clean. Huh? And check it out. I started walking like this, a little higher. And the next sprout said 60 days clean. I'm getting up there. I'm getting up there like that. I had 90 days. Huh? 90 days. You know what 90 days is to somebody who shot dope for 25 years. Huh? Somebody who spent 15 years in the penitentiary, who lived in a 5 by 7 foot cell, huh? Who was facing death row, who was in 32 detoxes. When I got to 90 days, I felt so good. Because I had crossed the magic line. I had crossed it in prison. That magic line, it was real clear to me. How that magic line that we don't see when I go from dependency to addiction. The magic line where nothing else on the planet Earth matters. It doesn't matter. If I stick this bank up and I get away, yeah! If I get shot down and the back of my head is blown off, life wasn't worth living anyway. Because I live to use. And I used to live. I crossed the magic line in Rawway State Prison. I remember where it was. Rawway, where I could use all the drugs I wanted. I could have sex on Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday with a woman. Color TV. Boom box. 8.5-inch woofers, 2-inch tweeters. Free meals. Free room and board. Put in language we understand. Clean sheets. Huh? Clean sheets. They give you a fresh set once a week. That's better than once every 5 months. It wasn't important anymore to get out. It didn't make any difference whether I got out or not. Get out for what? They're taking care of me. I'm institutionalized. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to live. Any addict, right? Huh? Can stop using. Lose the desire to use. Here's the clincher. And find a new way to live. Get out of prison. Oh my God. What am I going to do now? Now, you take your inventory. Huh? You take your own inventory. It's not for me to take. Huh? Our addiction enslaved us. Read or who's an addict enslaved us. We were prisoners of our own minds and condemned by our own guilt. So check it out. I don't care what kind of prison you were in. You understand what I'm saying? You know, you take your inventory. You take inventory of the way you were living. 2 times in the basic text. In Moral Be Revealed, chapter 10, and in chapter 1, who's the addict, these same identical sentences in there. It says, living skills were reduced to the animal level. Animals don't care. Give me some kibbles, man. Just give me some kibbles. You know, summertime I need less kibbles than I need in the wintertime. I don't need the men's shelter. I don't need an abandoned building. Under the jetty, under the boardwalk will do. I came up in Asbury Park. I left a vacant lot in Asbury. Sharon, you know where it is. I wore the house out. You know how we wear shoes out? The house is not existing anymore. The lot number is 1225, right between 1223 and 1227. It was my family plot. My mother, my father, my grandfather, my grandmother Margaret. It was their home. I had no sense of appreciation because I lived to use and used to live. So all I knew. Is anybody having any trouble with identification? Okay. I just want to know. I'll sit down if I'm wasting anybody's time. It's empathy, which is the healing force in CNA. So it was guys like Kevin K. I'll give it to you on the real side. Not the joke, man. It was the guys like him. It was the guys like Wayne B. It was these guys, all right, who showed me that I could recover. It was these guys who stood up for me, who showed up. You know how we say, our action speaks louder than anything we could ever say. They kept talking to me through their behavior, you know, and I kept showing, I kept coming back, and I found myself clean, you know, and I began to work steps. Now I want to talk about the solution. I want to talk about the solution. I identified the problem. You talk about the solution. What do I do now? What do I do? Oh, I don't know how to live. I don't know nothing. I'm clean and I'm crazy. Now let me tell you something. I hear the moaning and I hear the groaning. But if you ain't worked the first step yet, in fact, if you haven't participated in the second step, you are still clean and crazy. Now, I encourage you to get busy as soon as possible. As soon as possible. I mean, as soon as possible, play with this thing and say, we come in here to get relief. I want relief. I'm tired of living in pain. 3 pains, not 1. 3 pains. Spiritual pain, the worst of all. And spiritual, let me tell you what. You know, when they cut off Kunta Kinte's foot. Kunta Kinte kept coming. It's true. See, I saw it on TV. But we got 3 pains, man. Spiritual, mental, and physical. What I have found out is that every spiritual principle in Narcotics Anonymous has a 3-fold application. I have to surrender spiritually, I have to surrender mentally, and I have to surrender physically. I have to forgive spiritually, I have to forgive mentally, and I have to forgive physically. I got to do everything 3-fold because it's a 3-fold disease. You know, so I can't work on one part, and I've done that. I worked on one part, and I failed. I've had failures in that area. I made mistakes in NA. I've hurt some people in NA. With 3 years clean, I jammed some folks. I ran through some people's lives because I had not fully accepted that I have a disease that's cunning, baffling, and insidious. A disease that will tell me it's right to do something that's not right. I don't want to be that person anymore. And I don't have to be. That's the purpose of the 6th step. That's the purpose of the 6th step. The 6th step allows me to take care of my own business. And the 6th step allows me to work on my issues. Check this out. God, right? God is not going to do nothing for me that I can do for myself. Huh? You need to understand, I found this out, that God is not codependent. God does not go to Naranon. Huh? God is not an enabler. You understand? That God, check it out. Here it is. Huh? In the 6th step. Huh? So many times. Addicts have sought the rewards of hard work without the labor. Huh? That doesn't eliminate going to God. Oh God, please take this. Please take this from me, God. I can't have it. God, this is how God works for me. God says, huh, Ron, have you tried to work on this? I haven't seen you put your hand up in no meeting and talk about it. Huh? I see you still ain't fully got the message out of the 5th step. Huh? I see you don't understand that the defects of character grow in the dark and die in the light of exposure. You haven't seen that. You're still arrogant, Ron. You're arrogant. Why, God? Why am I arrogant? Because you haven't told nobody what's going on with you. You haven't told people how you're living. It's still a secret. You can't get any help with it. And I can't help arrogant people. Because arrogance is an obstacle to my dinner table. An obstacle. God say you get to me with humility. You get to me, humility, you get to me by being who you are. By being your right size. Huh? You get to me by working on yourself. Talking about the solution. I haven't forgotten stuff about the 1st step. When we admit our powerlessness and inability to manage our own lives, we open the door for a power greater than ourselves to help us. We open the door. The door's open in the back. It does me no good unless I walk through the door. I have to put some footwork into going through the door. How? I have to do this. How? The 2nd step is necessary. It's not perhaps, okay, it's all right. You can do it, maybe you can't, The 2nd step is necessary if we expect to achieve ongoing recovery. What do I want? Huh? Convention recovery? Just a weekend's worth? Huh? I come to the convention, I share spiritually on the tape. Huh? How am I living? What's going on? Am I trying to treat my wife like she's fully human? Huh? Have I gotten rid of my arrogance? Do I treat my wife the way I want to be treated? Huh? You're talking about a spiritual, mental, and physical disease. Do I speak to my wife the way I want to be spoken to? Huh? Arrogance is that I can do this, but you can't. It's arrogance. Somehow I'm hung up into thinking that like I'm actually unique. And that I can do some things you can't do. Sounds like a reservation. Until we rid ourselves of reservations rob us of the full benefits of recovery. I don't want no cut on my dope. I don't want no cut on my recovery. So I began to work on myself. The first 4 steps, first 3 steps helped me to stick and stay. I'm talking about the solution to living to use and using to live. The first 3 steps, I'm going to share some things as I know them. I'm a guy in NA who takes risk. I take risks because God, through prayer and meditation, tells me daily, not every now and then, daily, several times a day, many times a day, through prayer and meditation, God says, I want you to do this. And I get scared sometimes because I want your approval. Oh, yeah. Oh, don't you? You're the person that you run into when they tell you, I don't need nobody's approval. Step off from them. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. We're talking about people, right? People with low self-esteem climbing up an esteem ladder. All right? And I'm telling you, I have not arrived. You understand what I'm saying? Your adoration, your adulation in this room when I came in is overwhelming. Because I got clean here. I got clean here. This is my turf. This is my home. I was going to meet with 800 people in New York City. All that's good. Thank you, God, for allowing me to touch somebody. You are my hometown people. They say, my brother John, and I'm quoting John. Don't quote me. I'm quoting John. John said a prophet is never a prophet in his own hometown. I'm not talking prophets here. I'm quoting my brother. Blame him for anything I just said. You know, it's nice to be at one with your family. The first 3 steps kept me clean. Kill all that fancy rap about letting go, letting God. Oh, God, take my will in my life. Oh, God, you in my recovery. Show me how to live. I mean, it sounds good, and it is good. But you hear early on. Let me tell you something. It's about keeping you clean. It's about keeping you clean. All right? Because the steps take on different meaning as we continue to recover. The 4th step says the longer we live our program, the more God puts us in positions where issues surface. Huh? So I'm here to tell you that I'm crazy in areas that I don't even know about yet. Because I haven't been tested with them. You know, it's easy to go around and talk about, I'd never do that. Huh? Usually like this. I'd never do that. I'd never do that. Huh? I'd never. Judgment. Let me tell you what. This is my experience. They say we share our experiences and hope, right? This is my experience. I've had it. I haven't just heard it from you. I've had it. Huh? The very people you judge. The ones you judge, the ones you badmouth, the ones you kick to the curb, God is going to set it up. Because if you kick them to the curb and you're badmouthing them, you ain't got no humility, you got arrogance. All right? God's going to set it up where you are going to be in that same identical situation. But it's not going to be him that comes to you. It's going to be the very one you kick to the curb. So you can really get in touch. I have that experience. We need to be careful about that. You know, keep the focus on ourselves. Help people through our example. First step, here's the first step. Hit a tad bit mature. If I want my wife, I keep it on myself. If I want my wife, a man to be a certain way, then my job is to make myself the person I want her to be. That's powerlessness. That's powerlessness in action. You understand? I'm talking about getting into the solution with this thing. You know? I was clean. I found out the things, the patterns I had. The patterns, the things I did. They weren't real like new to me. I know who I am. I know what I did. I did so much, in fact, some things do escape me. They'll come back. Some people I see, I did so much, I don't know what I did to them. I see people in NA, I don't know if they're one of my victims or if they're a friend. But because of a 9th step and an 8th step, the 9th step and the 8th step tell me I don't have to walk the planet Earth no more with a 9mm in the nape of my back. You understand? Why? Because I put God in the 3rd step and I matured God. Matured God along the way. You understand? God, my concept of God in the 3rd step is infantile. Infantile, because I'm still overshadowing God. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm still overshadowing God. I am. You know, I am in my head. Well, you know, in my head, I'm overshadowing God. I tried to do it all the time. The arrogance with God, the manipulation of God, right, is what we call in here the foxhole prayer. The foxhole prayer. That's manipulation. Oh, God, oh, please get me out of this one, even when I run across rooftops with bundles in my pocket. You know, I'm scaling, I'm running around like a superhero, jumping from building to building. Don't want to give up my bundles, man. I got bundles, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I got bundles. You know? God, please help me with this one. And get away. And then forget completely about God. Bam! To the curb. Go to the curb. Forget it. Not in speech, but in behavior. Our actions speak louder than anything we could ever say. You understand? So it said in the first step, it said we great ones for manipulating the truth. The God is the truth. Get a dictionary. Look it up. It says that God is the ultimate or supreme reality. Huh? God is. I don't know where I'm going with this. But God is infantile in the third step, in the beginning. You know, I begin to work on myself. I begin to go to the step. I'm not going to tell you what step it is. The step says we admit it to God, right? God, now we really inviting God, right? But I need something to help me with my respect of God. I don't have what I need to respect God yet, because I don't have an adequate dose of humility. I don't have an adequate hit of humility. So we admit it to God, to ourselves, and to another human being, the exact nature of our wrongs. Now we're talking about not what I did, but why I did it. I'm owning who I am, and I can't manipulate it like I did in the first step. I wasn't admitting nothing to nobody but me and God. You understand? And then the third step, when they say, we turn it over, and we take it back. You don't think that taking it back is a form of manipulation? Yes, it is. We turn it over, and we take it back. We turn it over, and we take it back. I get in the fifth step. Do you know how hard it is to take it back? Once taken out, God has been there all the time. God was there when I was using. You understand? All the time, God's been there. I just didn't understand him. All right? If God wasn't there, I'd take a risk here. Not only would I be dead, but you'd probably be pushing up poppies in Boot Hill. You know, but you're not, and I'm not. God was there. So now in the fifth step, I'll let you in on what I'm talking about. The fifth step, right? We're talking about now we invite you. We invite you with God, because it's been me with God. It's been me in the third step with God. It's been me. God carried me to the first step. I didn't do nothing but use to get here. You understand? Now I'm inviting. Why do I invite you? Because I need to have ownership. Ownership for who I am. We're talking about getting on to self-acceptance on a very deep level. All right? Owning who I am. And in order to own it, I need to look you in the eye. I need to tell you I was this person, and I did this for this reason. I did this for this reason. You understand? I did it because I had a God complex. Because I wanted to determine the outcome of anything I was involved with. I wanted to determine the outcome. I wanted to control events. It's a God complex. You know, God involved there. You know? So now I invite you in. And then check this out. And you step off. You got it now. Now I'm in meetings with you. I'm in meetings with you. I done told you what's happening with me. I told you who I was and why I did what I did. I'm in meetings with you. And the next step talks about becoming willing. Willing. People get confused. The sixth step isn't about God taking anything from you. It doesn't have nothing to do with God taking anything from you. If you are willing to have me intervene again, if you're willing to have me come back again, because right now, check it out. Right now, you can be clean, and you are, and crazy. You can be clean and have the same behavior that you had before. You have a choice. You now have a choice. There's a choice. Well, God, please take this. And I told you earlier on this commitment that God won't do nothing for me that I have the ability to remove. God will say, no, I'm not helping you with that. Because you can help yourself with it. You can stop that behavior. We get into this childlike behavior. You know, I just can't stop. And we usually say that to a person who's doing the same thing. The blind leading the blind. You understand? The people I need to go to with those issues, those who keep coming to our meetings regularly instead of picking chicken. I see people are coming and it ain't meeting. That's where I'm going to get the hit from recovery. And it ain't meeting. And they told us, you ain't got to tell me. You don't have to pull me to the side and give me a special audience. You share honestly. You make your annual report. You make your weekly report. You understand what I'm saying? You make your report. You come from the 22.5-hour meeting. The meeting we don't hear about too much. You don't hear about how I work the 6-step in an NA convention. How I work the 5th step in my home group. How did you work the 5th step? How did you work the 6th step? How did you work the 7th step, the 8th step, the 9th step, the 10th step, the 11th step, the 12th step? How did you work them steps on your job? How did you work them with your next door neighbor? How did you work them with your wife? How did you work them with your grandson? And come back and report on that. This is about living the program. So we want living experiences in here. No philosophy. Living experiences. What is popular is not always right. And what is right is not always popular. I say what I know to be the truth. The book says it's the same for most of us. I don't have your truth, but I just might touch on a piece of it, you know? I need to move on. I need to find out, right? I need to stop stuff. I stop stuff. You know, I've been sharing about it. I don't want to dwell too long in it. Those of you who know me know that I had a terrible mouth. Could curse. And I don't want to go into that much. I need to tell you, I stopped the cursing. Prayer and meditation told me. God told me. I want you to check it out. You come up to the podium. You go before your home group. You say, I'm a trusted servant. Yes, I'm a trusted servant. I go to area service. I'm trusted. You serve, but are you willing to be obedient? Are you willing to do what it says way back in the 1st step? Huh? What does it say? We do whatever is necessary to stay clean. Even the things we don't like doing. Why? When we become beaten, we become willing. Willing to do what? Willing to serve God. Trust me. The ultimate goal of Narcotics Anonymous, when we talk about practicing these principles in all our affairs, we talk about my gratitude speaks. When I care and when I share with others, not addicts, not just addicts, you are others. You are a human being. You know, I'm talking about recovery not being so narrow that it's only relegated to addicts. Oh, no. You're missing something. You're missing something if it's only to serve addicts. You understand? It can't be just to serve addicts. It says my gratitude speaks when I care and when I share with others the NA way. With other people. It says in the 11th step, wonderful things. Like we begin to experience an awareness and an empathy. What does empathy mean? Identification. The word empathy means identification. We begin to experience an identification with other people. Huh? That was not possible before working this step. We're trying to get somewhere. Huh? We're trying to get a healthy relationship. Huh? With any person, place, thing, or event we come in contact with, we are unable to do that. Clean, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd step, I'm telling you, you're unable to do it. Can't do it. Keep trying and fall on your face. Recovery becomes unattractive. I can't do it. I can't do it. It doesn't feel good. I don't like it here. I don't like him. I don't like her. If I'm in pain, I might as well use. I need to continue to work the steps. It's my message to you. Don't take 2 or 3 years. Work it right now. Right now. Right now. Huh? Let's say here. Huh? We get relief. Do the 12 steps. I'm here for relief. I mean, why are you here? I know you're here. I know you're here. It's a rhetorical statement. I know you're here for relief. I mean, you're not here for relief. If you're here because there's a broken hearts club, lonely hearts, you're in the wrong place. Huh? Get relief to the 12 steps which are essential to the recovery process. Essential. Because they are a new spiritual way of life that allows us to participate in our own recovery. I'm reading from We Do Recover. From the first day. Did I say first day? From the first day, the 12 steps become a part of our lives. Not a year from now. Not a year from now. The sponsors got you hold up for a year, don't work the first step for a year, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Huh? The steps are our solution. They're our survival kit. They're our defense against addiction. Why the heck would I not use a defense for a year? Huh? Doesn't make any sense. You know, it doesn't make any sense at all. You know, the ship is sinking, get in the life raft. Get in the life raft now, not a year from now. Huh? What do you say? You'll be in Davy Jones' locker. You know? Now. Huh? The enemy's advancing. Fight now. Fight now. It's the enemy. We were enslaved by our addiction. Did I read that? Huh? It's a slave master, the enemy. Is it the enemy? It's a slave master, the enemy. And I look around at this room. There shouldn't be no problem with identification. I don't want to talk about Kunta Kinte. Work the steps, y'all. I don't want to go through the thing. Just work the steps. Work them right away. I worked the first 3 steps in the first 9 months. They ain't the first, second, and third step I have now. They're not. They're not. What I need to do is get familiar with the process of how the steps work. It's a process. Huh? We're people in the grip of a continuing and progressive illness. This disease progresses in recovery. It says so. It progresses in recovery. That means that I'm not going to pick up where I left off. I'm going to pick up where I would be today. Right now. Trust me. The book says it. Trust me. So living to use and using to live requires a relationship with God. Ultimately, it does. You know, we become willing to do whatever's necessary to stay clean. We need to begin to cleanse ourselves and purify ourselves. I don't know if they're going to ask me to speak again. Because I'm sharing my 11-step experience with you. Through prayer and meditation, God has told me quite a few things. God told me, I went to the 11th step and I tried to pray and God said, go back to the 10th step. You got unfinished business. You failed to take your inventory, pal. You're in a damaging type thing right now. I'm talking relationships. I'm talking about I had my foot in my wife's neck. And she could be here or not here, and I'll tell you the truth. Because I've talked to her about it. I've changed my behavior. I don't have that behavior. Don't tell me that I had to wait for God to take care of that. Huh? God won't do nothing for me I can do for myself. Stop running around. Stop running from your reality. Stop going between this woman and that woman. Huh? Make a decision. Where do you want to be? Stop hurting people. We don't come in here to hurt people. All right? Arrogance is that I can do this to her, but she can't do it to me. Huh? Treat people the way I want to be treated. You understand? Make a decision. Huh? God can be our greatest source of strength and courage. Go to God. Trust the outcome. What does it say here? Huh? What does it say here in the third step and it works how and why? Huh? We may find the willingness to work the third step by remembering where we came from and believing that where we are going is certain to be quite different. Though we don't know what this difference will entail, we know that it is sure to be better than what we've had in the past. We rely on our faith and believe that this decision is one of the best decisions we've ever made. Well, I stopped mistreating the woman. This is before I married her. And I removed that behavior from my lifestyle. I'm the same guy in the daytime that I am at night. God said in the 11th step, I said, can I carry the message? Can I get, God, please give me some spiritual direction. And we say it, God, your will, not mine, be done. But do I really mean that? I mean, do I really mean that? Or is that just nice innate cliche? God said you want to carry, yes, I want you to carry the message, but you're ill-equipped to do it. You don't have the skills to do that right now. So what do you mean, God? God said, you need to train yourself. You need some skills to do what I want you to do. I said, man, come on, how am I do that? God said, go back to your first step. I said, well, what do you mean? God said, we begin by asking for help. So how do I ask for help in a 22-and-a-half-hour meeting? What do I do? God said, you put your hand up the way they put it up out there. What do you do? What do you mean, God? Tell somebody what you need to do. In short, I had no money, and I still don't have any money. You need to hear that. I still don't have any money, all right? God said, fax these people this information. Tell them about the school you want to go to. Tell them you ain't got no money. Huh? Huh? Humility is being our right size. Huh? You know, not being humble is like, I ain't going to ask nobody for no help. I'm not going to tell them I need help. Huh? My right size is I need help. Faxing the stuff. They faxed it back to me. They said, we're glad to give you a scholarship that will cover your whole year in school. So now I've been going and I haven't missed a week. Huh? You don't pray for something, all right? And then once you get the direction, you don't take it. You know? And once I pray, I take you into prayer and meditation. I don't just go into prayer and meditation. I talk to you. I listen to you in meetings. I keep coming regularly. I hear what you say. I take what you give me into prayer and meditation. And when God gives me an answer, I don't come back to you and question what God told me. What's the point in praying and meditating if I'm now going to question God? So I question it before I go in. I take you with me. You know? Talking about prayer and meditation. I needed more credentials. Long story short. I prayed and God said, you got esteem and you got some skills. And I want you to serve more people. I said, come on, God, you just gave me the more people hit. Every year, water spills. So I went on and applied to the Board of Social Work Examiners for my license to practice social work in the state of New Jersey. Self-esteem says, man, they're not going to give it to you. Come on, you're ex-convict, man. You got to get this license from the Department of Law and Public Safety. You can't lie to them. God said, apply. God said, you have everything that qualifies you. I applied. In January, I got my license to practice social work in New Jersey. I'm sharing these things not in terms of social acceptability. I'm sharing them in terms of hope. Our message is hope and the promise is freedom. I've been having money problems. I had to cancel Detroit. God said, don't go. Prayer and meditation. God said, don't go. God said, you will not be serving me if you go. We're talking about the solution to living to use and using to live. Huh? Why am I saying that? I mean, why would I possibly say that? Our whole life and thinking was centered in drugs in one form or another. You understand? Huh? If the drugs don't get you, the lifestyle will. You know what I mean? I gotta look at this stuff. I gotta take my inventory. When I say I gotta look at it, I gotta take my inventory constantly. All right? I didn't have the money for Detroit. My workshop was, am I a victim or am I a volunteer? Had I put that workshop and that hotel reservation and that trip to Detroit on my Visa Gold Card, I would have been in Detroit sharing, I'm an addict named Ron, and I really shouldn't be here. And in fact, folks, I'm a volunteer because in 4 to 6 weeks, I'll have delayed unmanageability. Every meeting we read, every single meeting we read, through our inability to accept personal responsibilities, we were actually creating our own problems. Every meeting, and I go to meetings. You know how much I heard that? Recovery and Relapse says, through our inability to accept personal responsibilities, we were actually creating our own problems. It talks about not taking care of our personal affairs seems to lower our self-esteem and expresses itself in all areas of our lives. I didn't come here for continued pain. So I've been working the steps. I've been serving God. I've been taking unpopular stances because I've been telling the truth as I know it. You know, and I make mistakes. I'm not here in a posture of a saint. I'm here as a very sick addict. I'm very, very sick. I need help. However, I'm willing to get it. I'm willing to get it. It's all the difference in the world. Yeah, I don't mean I'm perverted. I mean I'm addict sick. I own it. I admit it. And I'm getting better a day at a time. I at least am able to have a healthy relationship. I'm going on my honeymoon tomorrow morning, y'all. Leaving. Check it out. On a honeymoon with my honey. Hence the word honeymoon. Yeah, you don't hear. I've been sharing. You don't hear enough in NA meetings. You don't hear enough about family stuff. My son is in Rawway State Prison. Here's some family stuff. Been there 11 years. On a 20 with a 10-year stint. 11 years. All right? Well, I'm talking family stuff now. The power of example. My son wanted what I had. Know what I had? A 30 caliber carbine. The sawed-off over and under. Smith & Wesson. Short shotgun. You understand? Showed him how to clean it with Rattler's gun cleaning oil. You stick up and know what I'm talking about. All right? Showed him all that. All right? He did everything I did. I didn't know not to do that. I thought I was this is all I had going for me. This is all I had. I thought this would be a sign of manhood. Show him how to clean a gun, how to shoot a gun. I didn't understand that a sign of manhood would be as saintly and revered as he possibly could be. So my son ended up doing what I did. He wanted what I had. He said, I shot dope. He said, I ain't going to do the dope. I'm just going to smoke coke. Now, y'all know what that's about. You know, just smoke coke. Huh? Y'all got shorter street runs than I had. Huh? Come on. So now, I got clean 5 years, 9 months ago. Now listen to this. My son is 5 years clean. He's doing everything I do. Everything. I don't care how old he is. He should be 30 years old next week. I don't care how old. He's doing everything I do. Your kids are going to do everything you do. Don't bother talking your kids to death. We're talking about living to use the solution. Your kids are watching you every step you take. They're watching you. And they're going to do what you do. And if your behavior, if you're in the grip of obsession and compulsion, they're going to learn that. If you lie, and you steal, and you cheat, and you manipulate, they're going to do that. They're going to watch you. I'm talking to Dutch in the other room over there. Dutch smokes Chesterfield Kings. Well, Chesterfield Kings is what my father used to smoke. But he only smoked half of it, so, it was a long, we'll say a gapper left. When my father would put it out, I'd go right behind him when he stepped off, and I'd smoke his Chesterfield King. I loved him so dearly. So dearly, I wanted to be just like him. Just like him. So I smoked his Chesterfield Kings. All right? Now, I never shared this. It comes to me. The longer we live our program, the more God puts us in positions where issues surface. My father had a woman on the side. Do you hear me? Huh? We're talking behaviors now. Huh? Stepping in women's necks. Treating people the way I don't want to be treated. I did what my father did. I'm not blaming him. I don't put out the blame thrower. We can no longer blame people, places, and things for our addiction. I'm talking about understanding. And I'm sharing with you. You got your kids, and it starts in the belly. It starts in the belly. What you put yourself. I don't want to get too clinical here. All right? It's true. It's very true. It's very true. So I've been living in the solution. The money hasn't been good. I'm going to close with this. The money's been tight. I canceled a retreat 2 weeks ago. I didn't have the money. But by canceling Detroit, the first time, I began to build a surrender muscle up in that area. It was easier to be responsible the second time. And I say to my wife, Iman, I say, how are we going to get through this? What are we going to do? Pray and meditate. That's her answer. I need to hear it sometimes. It's her answer. Pray and meditate. Ask God. Oh, check it out. God's will for me might be to move out of my one-bedroom apartment into an efficiency. I don't question God's will. God's will for me, God has exactly what God wants me to have right now. Right now. And if I don't believe it, I'm questioning God. Huh? Because I take my inventory. And am I or am I not doing the footwork? Yes, I am. Am I or am I not being the best person I can be a day at a time? Yes, I am. God said he needs a kibble. Give him a kibble, man. I got to give him a kibble. His faith is waning. So God gave me a phone call last week. Out of the clear blue sky. That's what we say. From nowhere. Yes, it was from somewhere. It was from God. God sent me a phone call, and the people on the other end of the line, listen, they said, check it, sounded like the army, but it wasn't. They said, Ron, we want you. I said, to do what? They said, we got some work for you. You are the only person we want. They said, we want you to work this job for us part-time. Keep your regular job. We want you to work up to 20 hours a week for us at $11 an hour. I said, oh, man, an extra 8 and change a month? I need it. I asked God for relief, not for money. However, God knows where we live. Now, here's the hit. We're talking about professional integrity, what you've taught me. First, it starts with basic integrity. And our behavior begins to carry a message to our communities. I said the relationship was to have a healthy relationship with our community. What do I want it to be? It's going to more be revealed. For the first time in our lives, we may be asked to serve in positions of responsibility in community organizations outside CNA. Our opinions are sought and valued by non-addicts in areas other than addiction and recovery. And this is not an addiction field. I'm a substance abuse counselor. But this job is not about addiction. It gives us this, and we'll close with this one. It gives us good feelings to know that aside from our value to others as recovering addicts, we are also of value as human beings. I'd like to welcome you to the human race. Transcend your addict status. Rise above your addict status. Don't be chained to the ball and chain of addiction. Free yourself. Or work these steps and apply spiritual principles. You can be anybody you want to be. You can go anywhere you want to go. But you got to love and trust God. And you got to surrender. I'm an addict named Ron. Thanks for listening.